What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and in this video I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to shrink back windows. Not like a full tutorial, but just some of the key things that people get in trouble with. Number one, I'm going to show you guys how I don't really do like a traditional H pattern. This ends up actually hindering you. I'm going to show you guys how to do a double snap on top and on bottom, and I'm going to show you guys how to isolate these corners first and foremost. If you guys can handle this, what a lot of people do is they just kind of like really do a good H pattern and tack this down. You have all this film that now that can't shrink, and now you're pushing all this film here, and then sometimes film can only shrink so much, so you end up creasing and getting some damage over in here. So number one, always make sure to keep an eye on where the center of the H is. And I just put one finger. This is all I do, one finger, that's it. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and shrink it also. Number one, keep the H pattern in the center. It's gonna make the fingers and the shrink even versus like having big fingers up here and tiny little fingers up here. So it'll just make your life a little bit easier. One finger here, bottom corner, top corner. Instead of going a traditional H and going down this way and going with the window, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys thinking of getting your H, getting a finger here, but for this area, we're gonna go down and out with it, not straight down. What that's gonna do is it's gonna move some film around, it's gonna release some pressure in this corner, and then hopefully that's what's gonna help save you guys from destroying film. So normal shrink like normal. Just keep your eyes on the film. Go side to side, right there. Once you're there, you're already set. Just take a smart card, a hard card, a Mac tack, and just go ahead and squeegee it down. You're only going down towards here. Now here, I'm gonna come to the outside, just like that, and then I'm gonna go straight down. Basically isolating these corners. Watch the film as it shrinks. Once you get there, some people will shrink more. You can shrink more on that, but then you'll end up over shrinking the film. Don't want to do that. This is more of a traditional shrink right now. This is pretty simple, standard. I think a lot of people get this and understand this. Now here, we're gonna go ahead and do a double snap. So I'm gonna lift the bottom up, and I'm only gonna re-shrink the bottom 2 inches. That's all I really want, all this right here. I'm gonna tighten it up on the side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and reheat again. You see those fingers coming down? So what this is gonna do is just gonna tighten up that film just a little bit more. This also works with front windshields and back windshields, so that you don't have to chase down heat with a heat gun down here. So if you double snap the top and the bottom, you'll never have to chase heat down there and chase a finger. Now here with the top edge, you can just kind of lift it up and kind of guide it. So what I'm going to do is this area, you're going to see, I'm not going to go straight up like normal. I'm going to come outwards, and it's going to take some pressure off here. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat, and I'm going to come out with it. You see that finger? I could push that in, but all that pressure is going to go in that way. If you need to, lift up the film again and then come out with it. And you're just kind of tighten up that corner. I'm bringing it into the center, kind of let this catch up, and we'll work back out. Just like normal. I always do leave a little bit on top, just in case. If I need to, I can go ahead and pull into the direction I want and force that film to go where I want. You don't have to use the extra, you don't have to snap. You can keep it, you can trim it off, but you can trim it off at the end. Think of it as insurance. It's there if you need it, and if you don't need it, you just take care of it, just trim it off at the very end. No worries. But what I do is notice that like I've pretty much did the corner first and let everything else, shrink everything else well after. That way we're not bunching up film here doing a traditional H pattern, and then this is where everyone messes up. Top corners on back windows and top corners on full windshields as well. Same thing with a double snap. You're going to pull back, tighten up the sides. You always want to tighten up the sides. And I know I pulled down to here, but we really only want to shrink like the top 2 inches. Again, this is going to tighten it up just a little bit more, preventing you from having to chase a finger. Same thing here. We use one finger, come down. That way we're being able to shrink the most in the majority of the film. And I'm going to come out with it, come out with it, come out with it. Okay. Let's see here. So I caught a little crease right there. So I'm going to flatten this out. Come in here, Zachary. So you guys see that little crease right there? So I'm going to go ahead and get an air bubble underneath it, then heat it, and squeeze it out, and that should work out just fine. And coming down, coming down, coming down. If you end up seeing stuff like this, where you're seeing fingers to the side, just make sure to try to push them down this way. And then now you have fingers straight up and down. That's really what you want to focus on. Again, another double snap. Just the bottom 2 inches. Try to heat that spot up one more time. And coming down with it. All right, again, top corner. Like this is all shrunk right here, but this isn't shrunk in this area. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up just a little bit, and I'll have to just reshrink that area, which is fine. Again, you don't want it loosey-goosey like this, because if I hit heat right here, it'll crease sideways, but I do kind of want to guide it, but just one finger, boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and start in the bottom of this corner and kind of come up with it. And if you see it starting to bunch right here, it's tacked right here. So just go ahead and lift it up and straighten it out. A little more heat. Opa. Don't do that. Let this catch up. Again, you can use this excess to kind of pull your way up this way and make sure that that film stays straight. Good, we were able to get that crease out, which is solid. So I'm a little surprised. Boom. Again, a double snap, just the top 2 inches. You can lay all this back down, lay the corners down. When you do a double snap, you never do the corners, because the corners could shoot a finger this way and you heat it, and then you're toast. You're gonna crease the film. So double snap, keep the top long. You can pull if you need to. Standard traditional H pattern come across the center, but I just use one finger, and on the edges, I kind of come to the outside. Come to the outside on the top and bottom corners, and that'll help relieve a little bit of pressure right here, and then being able to go ahead and shrink it a little bit easier. Try those out. If you have any other questions, concerns, hit it in the comments below, and I'll see you next video.